Hey everyone, Mark again from Dr. Multimedia. A huge thank you to everyone who sent in comments and questions from the last two videos. It's awesome to see so much excitement about the topics we've been covering, and I'm equally as excited to provide you all with some more helpful content. Now, if you missed those first two videos, we went over the right way to post on Facebook so that it actually helps your business. And we then cover the steps to create a successful Facebook lead ad. And what that does is target people who already need what you offer and prompts them to submit a form so that you can schedule their appointment. In other words, those ads basically create a list of people who want to become your patients. Just call them up, get them on your appointment calendar, and you've got a new way to keep your practice growing with new patients every single month without you having to do a lot of work. Now, all of that's just a small taste of what's to come with our new staff training product called Doctor Academy. It's going to be a step-by-step online training course that reveals the best practice growth strategies used by some of the most successful medical practices in the country. All right, now I've got another quick lesson for you today, and it's extremely important. In fact, without it, your reputation and your practice's reputation could also be heavily at risk. So I'm going to hop on my computer and walk you through it right now. All right, so the topic we're going to talk about here is called reputation management. And basically, that's just a fancy way of saying managing what people say about you online, okay? And so that involves the conversations that people have, social media posts, the review sites like Yelp and Google and Facebook, etc. So that means your patients actually have a lot more control of how people perceive your practice than you might think. Because based on what they're saying online, anybody else can see that too, right? So if one or more bad reviews end up posting online, how would that make you feel? And how would that affect your referrals that you get all the time? Right, which is typically one of the biggest sources of new business for most medical practices. So check out this study performed a few years ago. 92% of consumers now read online reviews. Roughly 40% of consumers form an opinion by reading just 1, 2, or 3 reviews. The star rating is the #1 factor used by consumers to judge a business, or in this case, a medical practice. And 44% say a review must be written within a month to be relevant. So if you search for my company, Dr. Multimedia, on Google, here's what comes up. So our Glassdoor reviews are on the first page of Google. Our Facebook reviews are on the first page of Google as well, and so are our Google reviews. All 3 of those platforms show up on page 1. So these review sites and these review platforms already have great SEO built in. So whether you like it or not, we didn't do any work to put Glassdoor or Facebook or Google on the first page of Google. They did all that work for us. So just by having your reviews public, they're going to rank typically very well in search engines. And then if you search for Dr. Multimedia, for example, on Google Maps, what do you notice here? Our reviews are now integrated into Maps as well. And again, we didn't do that. Any local business that has their Google My Business page set up on Google, their reviews will also display on Google Maps, whether you like it or not. So obviously you want those reviews to be very good because that's like now front and center when people are looking at your location, right? So the top 3 sites that you should definitely have a presence on for reviews are #1, Google. All right, if you don't have a business page set up for reviews, go to google.com/business and set one up for free. Facebook, you get access to that by having a business page created, which I showed you in the first video. So if you don't yet have a business page on Facebook, watch that first video I sent several days ago, and that'll walk you through it. And #3, of course, is Yelp. So if you don't have a business page set up for Yelp yet, go to biz.yelp.com to set one up also for free. These are all free, by the way. Then once you have them set up, establish a process. Okay, by that I mean a process for getting reviews often. Okay, so make someone in your practice responsible for getting those reviews. Have them ask patients in person during their appointments and their visits. And ideally focus on one platform at a time. So choose Yelp, get Yelp reviews for a number of months, switch over to Google, switch over to Facebook. That way you're not going crazy with all these different platforms all the time, but focus one, get a lot of reviews, and then go back to another, and then cycle them over time as well, and get as many reviews as you can as you run your business over the course of the next few years. Right? And make it obvious that you want reviews. Right? Leverage every outlet that you can to get the message out you want reviews. Post on Facebook saying, review us on Yelp. Post on Instagram saying, review us on Google, right? And then put signs in your office. I mean, get the word out everywhere. So whether you're doing in-person requests, on-site signs, social media posts, direct mail, or on your website even, make it obvious that you are actively trying to get more reviews on those three major platforms. So here's an example of Dr. Phyllis Schaub, a dentist out in Orange County, California. This is her homepage, and if you scroll to the bottom, what do you notice there? She's got a big icon that says review us on Yelp. If you click on that, it takes you right to her Yelp page. And above that are a whole bunch of other links to Google and Facebook and other platforms as well. So that's an example of putting those review outlets on your site to make it obvious for people to give you reviews. Now, just by having them there may not be enough to get a lot of people to actually take action and do the review. So that's where the in-person requests come from. So as they're, as a patient's checking out, your staff could say, "Hey, do you mind giving us a review on Yelp?" Just go to our website and click on the button right there and submit your review, right? So if 92% of consumers now read online reviews, and if 40% of consumers form an opinion by reading just 1, 2, or 3 reviews, if the star rating is the number one factor used by consumers to judge a business, and if 44% say a review must be basically really current to be relevant within 1 month, then what would happen if you had 5 reviews, say on Google? Maybe it was something like this: a 5-star, a couple of 3 stars, another 5-star, and a 4-star review. Let's say that was your count so far. You got a 4-star average. And what would happen if someone gave you a 1-star review because they had a bad experience? Well, that single review would take you from that 4-star rating, drop you to a 3.5 star. One person would do that to you. That new 1-star review would then be highly visible because now it's at the top, it's the most current review, so it'll be front and center, easy to see, and your reputation would be damaged, hopefully temporarily, if you do something about it, right? If you just leave it alone, then now you're a 3.5 star practice and everyone knows about it, which is kind of a bummer because you might be a 5-star dentist, but online your reputation's taking a big hit. So the remedy to this is, of course, to get positive reviews, and a lot of them quickly. You want to bury that negative review because that's probably not your typical experience. Or if it is, then you might want to consider how you're running your practice and see ways you can improve that patient experience. But assuming it's not, you want to just drown that with positive reviews. How to do that? Same way as we just went over: in-person requests, on-site signage, social media, direct mail, website. Make it obvious, and those in-person requests can drive people to those other platforms. So it's mention, "Hey, can you submit us a review on Facebook? Check out our latest post," right? So everything drives people to those review platforms. Here's a sample script for in-person. Your front office staff could say, "Hey, how was your experience today?" If the patient says, "Oh, it was great," then he or she could follow up by saying, "Awesome, could I ask you for a quick favor?" Pause, get their response. "Sure. Could you please give us a review on Google before you leave?" Or whatever platform that happens to be, right? Simple as that. Now, if they had a bad experience, don't ask for a review. Solve the issue right then and there so that they don't go give a bad review online, right? That's why you kind of vet them in person. And ideally, you get them before you leave. Hand them an iPad with Google already open so it's super easy for them, okay? Now, if you're going to send out an email blast to your list of patients asking for a Google review, just ask for the review. Don't ask them in the first email, "Hey, would you give us a review?" And then in a second email, send them a survey. You want to eliminate steps when you're doing it online because most people's inboxes are already very cluttered. And if you do multiple requests, it almost feels like you're giving them a lot of work to do. So when you're going to send out a blast to your list, just go one time, "Hey, get a $5 gift card on us for, when you submit a review by the end of the month," or whatever. Just ask for it right up front to everybody. Easy. in person, vet their experience right before they leave. So that way you know how to handle or solve the situation. Okay. Now, a word of caution, never let the fear of getting bad reviews prevent you from asking for more reviews. Ever. Okay. Always be getting more reviews. If a bad one comes out, remember, you just bury it by getting a lot of positive ones. But you won't get positive without just putting yourself out there and continually to ask month over month. Okay. So time for a little bit of Q&A. What's the most effective way to get reviews? Based on all the clients that Dr. Multimedia served over the years, we found that face-to-face in-person requests during checkout is a great way to do it, because when people have a positive experience, they are they're enthusiastic about it, right? They just had a great experience, then they're happy to write about it. Okay, and if they just had a bad experience, you can solve it right then and there. Should I reply to bad reviews? Yes, publicly and privately. So if the bad review goes up on Google, for example, do a general reply, something along the lines of, use this as a framework. We apologize for the poor experience that you had at our clinic. We're known for a great customer experience, or whatever you're known for. That kind of negates their bad review. What you had was not a typical experience. Please contact us and then fill out an email or a phone number or whatever method of contact works best for you. Then in private, contact them directly, phone call, email, text, however you communicate with your patients, and remedy that directly with them, okay? And the simplest strategy is to focus on one review site for a period of time. So do like Facebook reviews for 1, 2, 3 months. Get those reviews built up, and then switch to another platform. Do the same thing. Actively be asking for reviews, and then repeat. Cycle through those, okay? And it's totally fine if one person ends up reviewing you 3 times on different platforms. No problem with that at all. So at this point, I've sent you guys 3 hopefully very helpful videos about marketing your medical practice online. If you put all 3 together, here's what you've got. You've got your medical practice that's been around for a number of months if you're new, or a number of years if you've been around for a while. And then the content from those 3 videos taught you how to post engaging, good quality social media content. We chose Facebook as the example. Run targeted ads to pinpoint the people most likely to become your future patients, and then how to manage your reputation online so that way you're in control and you can have a positive image on the internet to drive more people to your practice. They all work together. So all those ingredients mixed with your practice is how you are key ingredients of how you grow your practice using digital marketing tools, okay? Without a lot of additional work. A lot of these things you set up one time, or you monitor every once in a while, and they kind of run on autopilot for you. So with all that said, guys, I do have a huge announcement. We are launching a new product. We're super excited about it. This is a long time in the making here. It's called Doctor Academy. And it's going to be the #1 staff training program to market and grow your practice online. So you'll have access to step-by-step courses, learn how to acquire new patients using digital tools and strategies, as well as how to market your practice online as well. And there will be a very limited time, super special offer for all current clients, current Dr. Multimedia clients of ours, that will be coming your way very shortly, within the next day or 2 or 3 here. Look out for another email from me once we go live with Dr. Academy. But the content will be very similar to this, of step-by-step walk-through strategies and tactics of how to market and grow successfully your practice on the internet. So we have many thousands of clients across the U.S., and we've learned why some practices are a lot more successful than others, especially online. And so we've taken all the best strategies from our interactions with those practices over the years, and we put them into a course to teach you guys how to win at the game of digital marketing and to become the best practice owners that you possibly can be in this new digital age, as everybody's moving online. So this course, again, similar to this in terms of content, but it'll be way more elegant, and it's pretty darn cool, very professionally done, and it will empower your staff to really market your practice at a high level while you as the doctor are focusing on patient care. And you don't have to worry about this stuff. So we're going to teach you all the very best from the best in one easy-to-use step-by-step course. Coming up, look out for another email. And again, 1, 2, or 3 days coming up very shortly here. Once we take this live, I'm sure it'll be a huge value add to train your staff to really market and grow your practice online. So again, until then though, let me know what you're most excited to learn, what will be most beneficial to you. If you have any questions from the videos that I've done over the past few days here, tell me on the blog. Click on the button below to post your comment or your question. I look forward to serving you guys in the future as we move along. So again, hope that was helpful to you guys. I'll see you hopefully again very, very shortly here. Take care.